Bears. Pressure. Throwing. Corner has a man. It is caught. On the fake, Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all. It is caught.
It is great to be a Bears fan this Sunday morning. Wow. That game brought so many emotions. I know you guys going to contest to this too. But for me, it brought so many emotions. Like in the beginning, like I'm hyped. Let's go. We're gonna blow them out. And then toward the middle of it, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be one of them games. One of them like low scoring games, because nothing was going on. Nothing was going right as far as the offense was concerned at all. Mm-hmm. Then it went from, oh shit, are we going to lose to the Packers again? Like, is this, we down 13-3? No, it can't. Then it flipped to like, okay, we a touchdown back now. And then from there, like, especially when we got that onside kick, we tied the game up. We're gonna actually win this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It went highs and lows. This was, to me, this will probably go down in Bears history as one of the more memorable games that we've probably seen. The way that they came back. Never give up. You fight to the end of the game. Down 2 minutes left. It's like they've been doing this all year. People call them the cardiac Bears, cardiac Caleb. You have to beat the Bears for a full 60 minutes. You can't, because 58 minutes, Packers was controlling this whole game. The last 2 minutes, it was all Bears. And then we did it in overtime. Caleb with the 45-yard touchdown, DJ Moore. It beautiful. Beautiful. This was cinema. And before I let one of you guys start, a boy shot was at the game.
Yeah.
Right here. We going home, Shot. So, guys, speak on it.
Floor is yours, Shot. You go ahead, man. You was at the game. You had the best seat in the house, man. What you got for it, big dog?
First week this season in the game with some Bears Kool-Aid, gentlemen. Let me take a swig here. Fully embrace my meathood for this season. Pause if necessary. This was a game that started off like me having cramps going through a cardiac seizure. For the first half of the game with 0 points and less than 0 degree temperatures outside. Just keeping it above. So I got to be that guy to say that. It's very disappointing to see the way the Bears came out in this first half, and I was expecting way more. The performance was less than what met or was required for the situation in the moment. And then something happened at halftime. Your head coach happened at halftime. Small situational game changes in terms of the defense going 0 for 5 in the red zone, keeping Green Bay completely out of the end zone. from this game being blown away early, giving them the opportunity to even get back in it. The offense flipping the switch, getting 4 scoring drives in the second half. And the last one being a touchdown, like you say to my boy Jade. Shout out to Jade, because he was hitting the celly on that catch, man. Back end zone, quick out route, man. It was a great route ran. Caleb with the fadeaway 3, hit Shorty in the corner, bucket, drizzle. That was a great performance. It was a great drive. And when you see what happened in terms of the entire team that cultivated that win, it was really something that was just about energy, man. For the most part, when Jordan Love went out of that game, it was more like a sense of relief, like, oh, this is cooked. But Green Bay kept their foot on the pedal, and they continued to ride the momentum that they had created early in that game. Now, keep in mind, in that first half, they only generated 2 field goals. So that was a big turning component for me, going into halftime only being down just those 2 field goals, as a situation where we were looking at it like we were completely outplayed. Mm-hmm. So what they did is they actually leaned into what they have been working towards, Manny and G, all year long. This identity that we've been searching for about a decade. A team that you can't beat up. You can't keep down. A team that has handled adversity in every component or situation this year that you can think of. Mm-hmm. Couple that with everything that happened last year, I think there's a lot of luggage that these players are carrying, and the will that they show in situational moments where things just break their way. Some people call it luck. I think it's just preparation and the dedication and the discipline required for these dudes to put themselves in these scenarios. You got to give kudos to this unit, bro. This is a special team. Now, we've seen special teams in the past flash in the pans, one-year wonders for the Chicago Bears, but in the moment, man, we have to embrace that this is a little different, because this team played or performed how Green Bay has performed against us in situations like this in the past. When the Bears have had opportunities to be division champions or get in the playoffs or step up a tier, and Green Bay's on the schedule, we've lost those games. This was a situation where the Bears leaned into what they are. Physical runs by Monangai. Physical runs by Swift. Key situational football defensively by everyone on that unit. And most importantly, 18. Let's put this game in reference in the pantheon of games for the Bears that have been over 200 played. I want people to put this in perspective. That was the most impressive fourth quarter and overtime performance from a quarterback we've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not critiquing the first 4 quarters of him. I'm critiquing the fourth quarter and overtime. When the Bears went down the field to get an 11-play drive for 1 minute and 35 on the clock remaining, and they scored a touchdown thrown by the quarterback. In the overtime, after the defense forced the turnover, because that's what I'm going to call it, a forced turnover.
Right.
Green Bay nutted up. They made a big play and got to midfield, and guess what? Oh, Malik. Oh, dropped the ball. Oh, opportunistic. Giving the Bears offense a 4-play drive, 64 yards, a bomb to your boy, too. The graduation, G, we've been talking about. In the pocket, 7-step drop. Let your guy run dead as far as you can, and you let that bitch rock. You throw it with all ball sack. Right. And that's what 18 did.
Yeah.
These are the throws you saw Brett Favre make. These are the throws Aaron Rodgers have made over 20 years. And our quarterback was the one responsible for it. The biggest flex was him putting his pockets in his joint after he let that bitch rock.
Man.
That's the graduation for Shorty. We talked about the maturation of his development and is with experience. This here, these are the games that elevate a quarterback mentally to a different level. Heading into these last couple of weeks, we're going to see him ascend in terms of his play. I can book that now. Reason being is because what happens is when you have one component about confidence that makes you a champion. there's always doubt until you actually do it. And the vibe that stadium had, the vibe that those players had after that game, they're going to ride that into the playoffs, gentlemen. And it's going to be fun to watch.
I agree with everything, man. I'm just gonna pick up what you left off at, man. This is probably one of the best wins I think I've ever seen from the Chicago Bears, man. This is the most I've ever seen a quarterback be clutch. This is the most I've ever seen a head coach come out with an adjustment. This is the most I've ever seen a defense bend and don't break. You know what I mean? A hell of a play call on special teams to get that onside kick. Very, very smart IQ situationally. They knew it was cold. They probably knew because they didn't have the heaters on, so they didn't have the heaters on for the Packers. And that might have been a situation where we just try to onside kick and see test their hands. And it worked. You know what I mean? The math on that got to be low as hell, probably like 2, 3, 4, 5% to even get that ball back right there. Just to speak on Caleb Williams, like you talked about, man, and this is something I've been saying. Everybody's been talking about this development. And I've been one of the people I've been just saying, like, we're going to have to just wait and see. And I think he can do it, but it's going to have to come in moments. You know what I mean? We talk about his development. He's going to develop during the games. He's going to develop when it's urgency football. The thing about Caleb Williams is that he's a quarterback. When money's on the line, he can deliver. This is his 6th fourth quarter comeback of the year. In the last 20 years, he's like the 5th quarterback to do that. I think it was Matthew Stafford, him, I think Peyton Manning or Brett Favre. There's only like 4 or 5 quarterbacks that's been able to do what he's been able to do recently. Not recently, but over years. I'm talking about it was like a 20-year gap. This is 2025. He had 6. And this is his 2nd year. What is his 2nd year? And it's his 1st year under Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams is ascending right in front of us, man. Like I say all the time, I like to see the offense be sped up a little bit more. I want to see Caleb throw it a little bit more. So I could just sit back and see, is he Kobe Bryant when Shaq got in foul trouble? You remember that, Manny?
Yes.
When Shaq got in foul trouble, everybody's like, Kobe's he's just playing ball because, Shaq is 7 foot and all the attention goes to him. He can't do anything. But what did Kobe do when Shaq got in the foul trouble? So I'm going to reference that to say this. I was all the talk about Rome is going to be gone. Luther Burden is going to be gone. His weapons. So I was in a private chat talking to the fellas. I'm like, we're going to see what he's made of, man. We're going to see, can he play without a full deck? So if he can win this game without his full deck and his full complement of players, this is his ascension game. This is going to mean he's grown, because you can't always have the run game. You can't always have all your wide receivers. You're not going to always have your tight ends. So it was the dope to see him ascend in the game that mattered probably the most in 8 years. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it on to you, Manny. I'm going to say that this was a great game for the culture. I think it was a shift, changing, altering, division-winning game. I think this was Caleb Williams' not coming out party. Like Shaw said, he put his hands in his hand warmer and let you know, I'm him, bro. And to the people that's still skeptical about Caleb, the man has talent and arm strength that you cannot teach, bro. He had to learn how to play under structure. He had to play how to learn the rhythm. And like I've been saying, bro, he can get you, and it didn't happen in the first half. He has an arm. He can get you at the 30 or the 40 in 2 fucking throws, bro. And he did it at the end of the game. He did it. And he keeps doing that. Like, he don't, his accuracy will come. But if you can give me great throws like that during the game, bro, his ceiling is unlimited, bro. It's unlimited. If you've really been watching him, it's unlimited, bro.
Man, people, y'all gotta put respect on Caleb's name. You know what I mean? You gotta you gotta give it to him. Everybody's like, well, it's still he only did it when Michael Parsons was out, and then this is like we had people out too. We had our best receivers out. We had a lot of people out. So injuries are a part of the game. Caleb, he had 250 yards passing, two TDs, quarterback rate of 98.9. Also had three rushes for 10 yards. And when we needed it, like during the fourth quarter, had a scamper, had a run 10 yard, and another run of 10 yards. Had that my man had a space mask, gave us another 15 yards.
Yeah.
So those were crucial plays, and then on 4th and 4 for the game, it was a 4th and 4 play.
Crazy.
Man, gave it to Walker. Had my man had to dance at the end. It was beautiful, and I agree what you said, man. It's like that felt like, okay, here it's our turn now.
Yeah,
you know, Packers been dominating the Bears for the last 22 decades, 20, 30 years. Now it's our turn. This is we actually have I can proudly say we have our quarterback, we have our coach. Now, only thing now is playoffs. This, with that win, we're not I think we need the Lions to lose today. So this is the only time that I'm gonna be rooting for Aaron Rodgers. But then we'll guarantee a playoff spot.
We got comments in here. Okay.
Yeah, we got some comments in here. Let me see what we got.
We got OG Allen up in here, man.
OG Allen.
On YouTube.
Okay. Red zone defense was amazing. Yes. The Packers, even when Jordan Love, because let me see, Bella. So can we talk about the Jordan Love hit? Okay. We're gonna talk about that Jordan Love hit. I'm gonna let you guys, because I'll talk from my vantage point. It's like, okay, it was a helmet to helmet hit. Did he necessarily want to hit Jordan Love? No. In the helmet, no. It was just the momentum of how he tackled him. If Jordan Love would have had his upright, there wouldn't be no helmet to helmet. But the defense, we only limited him to 6 points. He did not score any touchdowns on us, even when he was playing. Even at the quarter, that first half, they didn't score.
Right.
Malik Willis scored the touchdown. I think his name Malik Willis. He scored the touchdown. So it's like a lot of people say, "Well, Jordan Love ain't playing. That's why y'all won." I'm like, no. The Packers they were dominating this game for 58 minutes. They should have won. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The Packers should have won this game, but they choked. That's what they do. The Packers choke in the biggest moments. We all know this. Yeah, and it's our turn to give them. It's our turn right now to give them what they've been giving us for years. So I am so happy that happened. I want to make DJ Moore 97 yards receiving, touchdown at the end to fade to black. Love to see now he's more involved in the offense. I was screaming for Colston Loveland, some Colston Loveland sightings and whatnot. He finally got some passes, some balls through in the fourth quarter, which was a good sight. TJ Edwards, that stop, I think it was in overtime. He stopped Willis. Man.
That was huge.
That was huge. And then the fumble, that fumble, I'm like, whoa. We actually, once they fumbled the ball, because that was shocking. The Packers, they fumbled the ball, and I'm like, wow, okay, this has to be it has to be our time now. It has to be. But go ahead, fellas. I don't want to keep rambling.
That play on Jordan Love was illegal, but it wasn't dirty. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
By the letter of the law, it was an illegal hit. It knocked the quarterback out, so his dinner's paid for the week around the city. Point blank, period. However, I don't think that necessarily was the changing component of the game because, like you said, Malik Willis came in and played better than any backup we faced all year. His mobility allowed them to extend drives. He made several explosive plays with his legs that continue to allow the drive to continue in terms of time of possession. Key turnovers were forced in the fourth quarter, and I think that was due to continuity problems on that offensive line because they were missing an offensive starter. And then with their quarterback going out, I think that they had some issues, and LaFleur looked a little heated in that second half, man, like his ass was chafed. So I'm going to say that the Packers completely wet the bed, but I think that the opportunities that presented themselves, the Bears just took advantage of them. In the first half, Green Bay had opportunities to score touchdowns again, and they only ended up with two field goals in that first half. So got to give credits to the defensive staff and putting on a big boy performance, a playoff type performance in that first half, allowing your team to still be in the game management wise, so that you can still have an opportunity in that second half to get your shit corrected. And that's kind of been the formula. So you got to lean and look at Dennis Allen and what they did in that first half to kind of slow down Green Bay. Not sure if y'all really looked at the game that way defensively, but I looked at who had the most impact noticeably on the field or what levels of defense. And honestly, I couldn't necessarily focus on one. It was like a team effort overall defensively. I think at each level they played well. You had plays from your safeties, you had plays from your linebackers, and even had plays from your defensive line that struggled, man. And I'm talking about no pressure on the quarterback. So from that standpoint, because they were able to kind of negate the run game of Green Bay to make them a little bit more one-dimensional like we talked about, you know, I want to give a big salute to the defense. And a lot of people are not going to really focus or talk about them, man. Got to give them some love this week, man. Even E.T.S Sweat had, after the turnover situation in the end of the game, E.T.S Sweat followed it up with a big sack that kind of pretty much fed the momentum, because at that point when that sack happened, I think that's when the stadium really felt like this might happen. And then for him to have such a quiet night before that sack, man, it was really important for him to get involved, I believe, man. So salute to your boy E.T.S Sweat for getting him a sack, man. You still owe me money, but guess what? I'm gonna let you go with the fade on this one because you got Green Bay. So we're gonna call it even, bro. No side bets. Cairo Santos, I'm off your back for a week.
I was about to say that.
Now, for me, man, that was the biggest component, man, because in that stadium, the wind was blowing left, right, up, down, man. I'm talking about it was chilly, so I know he was kicking a brick. So I got to give credit to Cairo for coming out being a professional. He was out there before the game. He was out there at halftime. I got the footage. I got the receipts. So I got to say that Cairo did what he needed to do, bro. Man, he made 3 big kicks all game, made his extra points when it was called on. And for the most important kick of the game, the onside kick, like when you was talking about it, G, I think not since Robbie Gold we see a kicker that gave an opportunity to his unit to actually go down there and get a recovery, bro. Because a lot of time when they kick the ball, they either bounce all the way up or directly to a player. And knowing the conditions and knowing the field, he gave his coverage unit an opportunity to get a recovery, man. Josh Blackwell, all pro special teamer, Josh Blackwell. That's what you need to refer to him as moving forward. For anybody that wants to talk about that gentleman, number 39, every fucking week, he's doing something on special teams. So you got to give credit to him making a big play in terms of that recovery. And then also the punter getting one of those pinback kicks early in the game where it was necessary and required for Torrey Taylor to be the drafted kicker that we needed as a punter to flip field position when it was required, because that defense was a little fatigued. So good to see a team win, man. Ben Johnson struggled this week, G. Don't know how you feel about it, Manny. Ben Johnson had his worst game as a play caller this week. Is absolutely atrocious in the way he decided to come out in this game. And I would have kicked him in the nutsack if we'd have lost it. But guess what? He got it corrected at halftime and understood the weaknesses and the deficiencies of Green Bay and started to challenge the defense. And then you started to see them go a little bit more up-tempo, G, also in that second half, which is what you like to see that offense in. You can see they feed on that, and at home, the crowd feeds on that too. The energy is there. Like, you're yelling out at that time, like, let's go, let's go. You know, we could see that the offense had an advantage when they found a defensive scheme that Green Bay had on the field that they wanted to take advantage of. And it just was like, what's going on, Ben? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. So, you know, it was good to see the parents, a lot of kids to tear up the crib a little bit, man, and everybody have a little fun, and they end up being victorious, man. So big salutes to the defense and special teams units, man, on the other side.
Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, just real quick, just to piggyback what he said, like, you know, a lot of people love the run game, like I've been saying for a while. Like, the run game is cool, but in order for me, what I've seen watching being a student of the game, you want to develop the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I know the throws, you know, you got to get 20 completions and all that, but you want to see him in rhythm early. You want to see him take some shots early. And Ben Johnson has a habit of running the ball on 2nd and 10, running the ball on 2nd and 8. Like, that's been one of my major gripes from him. Like, bro, stop running the ball on long distances, long downs. Then he threw the ball on, what was it? We was at the goal line with 2nd and 4. Then Caleb missed 2 throws. It was 4th and 4. Like, he made the situation harder than what it was. So his balance of run game and pass game needs to be polished. It needs to be better going forward. Like I said, I like the up tempo because I got to see Caleb throw some ball. I got to see it, bro. Like, if we're gonna use the run game consistently, I have to see my quarterback give me 8 completions, bro. Give me 7 completions right here in the season, so I can sit back and say Caleb can really do it with his arm. He can really do it with his arm. So that's all I'm waiting on, man. So the more up tempo we go, the more less run game we go, because we might not see Caleb throw for 300 yards like a lot of people want, because we use the run game a lot. You know what I mean? He can do it. But Ben prefers the run game, and it has to just be balanced and more complimentary going forward. That's all I got.
Hey, Manny, let me throw a point to what G was just talking about, the final drive of the game in the regulation, 11 plays. Out of those 11 plays, first play, 3-yard completion. Second play, a 10-yard completion. Third play, 8-yard completion. Timeout. After the timeout, a 20-yard completion. Then a 6-yard completion.
Ooh! Cooking.
So, to his point, there are certain points or certain times in the game situationally where Ben Johnson is going to have to allow his quarterback to run the team.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I think, it's the training wheels component where it's like you still need to stay within structure. You got to let them play a little bit out of that sometimes. And I think that's going to allow them to have those games where they're not starting in the hole.
Exactly.
0 points in the first half is not playoff formula. It's not. And I think there's going to have to be some stubborn adjustments required for Ben Johnson. And I would hate for it to happen in the playoffs, because even though he's built up a lot of equity here, it can get sour real quick if he does some dumb shit in the playoffs. So let's keep it above. So for me, seeing what they did this week, I hope that now opens the parameters of the offense to play their graduation game, so to speak. You feel me, Manny?
Yeah. So I wanted to say, sorry, I got distracted for a second. I was going to say that Ben Johnson does need it seemed like he took the training wheels a little bit off of Caleb Wynn, especially in that second half, that fourth quarter. And he needs to start doing that earlier. You could throw that trick play or whatever they did to Monunga in the first quarter. You can just cancel that or throw, or get a receiver or somebody that can, because don't do that play, especially if it's 4th and inches. Just do a regular quarterback sneak or run up the middle. You would have got that. But if you're gonna do something cute, do it on 1st and 2nd down. Don't do it on 4th. That's just me. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. Hold on.
One of my favorite plays of the game, G. I don't know how much y'all talked about it on your post game or on the live thread on CNG. But the Monunga screen, we talk about getting the screen game involved at 30.
I did. I said that. I was like, I want to see it.
That shit looked good, boy. He ran well. He caught the ball, and when he got in the open field, he looked like he had bad intentions going straight to the end zone, man. That was one of those plays that he ran in Rutgers, man, that really showed who he was. Because even at the end of that run, when that safety came over, the safety felt all that. He got all that shoulder, bro. He got all that shoulder. Ran right through him, bro, and kept going, bro. That's the type of kid that you got. And I think out of a lot of the players on the team this year, one of the guys that has been a surprise that I think has now found himself to be potentially a core player for this team moving forward is Monunga, bro. He has a theme. Anytime he does something in terms of an explosive play, they say Monunga, like
like Lion King.
It was absolutely
Monunga.
It was beautiful, bro. Like the energy behind the kid, man. It's almost like, I don't know how far back you want to go back on the Bears train, but think about Jordan Howard.
I remember Jordan Howard.
Me too.
He was all right.
A guy that finishes runs. May not be a home run hitter in terms of speed, but between the tackles, he has shift to him, good vision, and he has a lot of thump behind pads. So, like, he's one of those guys that has actually, I think, pushed Swift to actually maximize his performance and production, man. This run game is something that Ben Johnson gets credit for, but I want to give kudos to those young studs doing their business, man. The Bears have done well, and they ran their ass off against Green Bay in that cold weather when they had to in that second half to extend drives or get start drives.
What did we finish with? Is yards, Shot. I know you know. How many yards?
Say again.
How many yards we finished with rushing the ball? I mean,
as a team.
So we had 150 on the ground.
Yeah,
that was impressive because they only ran the ball 25 times. So, like, when you can get 150 and you had a nothing half, half of football, that means you're getting explosive in the ground game. Mm-hmm. You're getting explosive in the ground game. So, like 10 yards or 8+ yards on the ground, those are explosive runs, and that's what they were getting every clip in the third and fourth quarters, man. And teams are not going to be able to stop that.
Right.
Like San Francisco has a unique defense under Robert Saleh that's going to be interesting to see how they handle the run fits against Chicago. That might be their toughest matchup in terms of being able to run the ball.
Yeah, that's what.
But I think that'll get them prepared for the playoffs. But also, I don't want to see them put bad film on tape because that could be something that comes back up to play in the matchup situation in the playoffs. Say, for instance, if we got to see the Eagles, or if we end up having to see a team like the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? They have the type of components that can put together a game plan to stop our run, which will force us to be one-dimensional, playing a game where we ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? So I really, want to give them credit. But yeah, man. Yeah.
And I agree with you. That's why the pass game is so important. Like, if they stop it, at least I saw 18 for the last 3 games. Give me 8 this drive, 6 this drive, 5 this drive. Like, we good, bro. They stopped this. Look, he still get you at the 30 to 40 with 2 throws, bro. So as long as we see Caleb, like I say, doing them throws, that's why I was saying, Shaw, we need to see it because the team is going to eventually stop the run game. But I need my quarterback to show me he can give me 6 or 7 throws in a drive, bro. And he's been doing it lately. So to your point about that, San Francisco being a tough team, they're going to challenge their run game. I got about a couple of confidence in Caleb being able to throw strikes. Like, we saw it. Like, so we should be good. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna all fall apart, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask you about the upcoming game against the 49ers in a little bit. I want to go kind of back a little bit. I do want to shout out to the Packers for playing. They played a great game. But from what we talked about, before we started the pod today, the Packers were running a lot of the Bears' plays. Am I hearing that right?
The approach that LaFleur took starting the game, when Jordan Love was in, it was really like a lot of ball control, but he was doing it with some motion. And I think because he had his full complement of receivers, he felt comfortable doing that. And like before Love left out the game, I think he was hitting like a 70% clip or something close to it. So what they were doing is what Ben Johnson likes to do. Use a trick play or misdirection run to set up some type of pass component. And if you notice, they were hitting the Bears over the middle quite frequently in that first half. Now, they didn't lead the big plays or big chunks, but that you could see that the motive of what they were trying to do is try to target that middle of the field underneath the safeties. And that's what the Bears were weak defensively. So the approach was there. Jacobs looked good. I think actually Wilson looked more impressive. I think he was damn near like 6-7 yards to carry, bro. And he was running with some power. So, when you got that kind of ground game going with that weather and you've taken a little bit of the energy out of the stadium, man, I was like, okay, LaFleur's in this man's bag. And we didn't see any trick plays come, but I think that was pretty much because Dennis Allen was pretty much in very heavy coverage. He was not allowing the bullshit early. He said, y'all are not going to break this game open. There'll be nothing deep. And I can appreciate Dennis Allen understanding the scope and the situation, man, saying my offense on the other side of the field ain't gave me shit. I can't give up a big play right now. I can't do it. And I think that was a little bit of sacrifice in why they were able to run, because they didn't commit that many people to the run early. They chose to stay more in coverage, which is why you saw that early success. But I think that if Love did not get injured, they probably would have stayed with the run a little bit more and not gone so off kilter with Willis. But they started being successful with it, man. And like, go back to look at that Baltimore film. Their backup did well against us, doing the same thing. So it was kind of like a pickup from there, man. But adjustments and rule key, and Ben Johnson has showed to be a showman in terms of adjustments at any point of the game, man. And he made the right ones.
Yeah. He go ahead, Manny. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I'm listening to you.
No, it's just the shot is right, man. It's just we got the adjustments. You know, Ben is great at making adjustments. Ben is he's a chess player, man. Like if there's ever been a coach of what I've seen so far with Ben, he want to lure you to sleep as much as possible. Then come with the quick strike game. You know, then he wants to put the pedal to the metal. And until we find a match and to actually disrupt that, then this is going to be a formula for winning for a very long time. But you know, his tougher teams are going to make him be a better coach. You know, tougher teams are going to make Caleb be a better quarterback. You know, tougher teams are going to help make that defense better. Like, we're still a young team. We're still developing. We're still not have all the things we need to. So every single thing you can squeeze out of this year, as far as, you know, winning and clutchness and adjustment and everything you need to squeeze out this 1 year, this is crucial, man, because you're still building your team, you're still training your players. So every single thing to me right now is a growth thing. It's a development thing, no matter how people want to slice it, because we're not a finished product. You know what I mean? In no way, shape, or form. But the foundation is solid, the base is solid. You know what I mean? The pyramid is starting to be built. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. So it's just cool to see it. But I'm looking forward to any challenges that Ben got to adjust to, or Caleb, or Dennis. Like, I want to see what you guys are really made of in this first year, so I can sit back and just relax in a lot of games and know when my team is going to blow a team out, a dog fight, you know, flip a game. You know what I mean? I want to see every single thing about this team so I can know what we got going towards the future. So right now, it's the coach, it's the quarterback, it's the offensive line, it's the run game. I don't know about the defense. I don't know about the secondary. I don't know about the interior front line. I don't know about any of the stuff on defense to make me feel comfortable going forward to where we can really challenge for a Super Bowl and a lot of division runs, you know, a lot of titles for the division going forward, especially on that defensive side of the ball. So I'm not going to say this year is a fluke. I don't think it's a fluke, but we need to hammer the draft on the defensive side of the ball and free agency with a pass rush, get a new safety, because Jaquan Brisker, according to Allen, he's not it. His eyes are always everywhere. The linebacker situation might be strong, but at the end of the day, is the defense really got to get retooled and refined.
Man, they gave up 190 fucking yards on the ground. That's unacceptable. I'm sick of that shit, bro.
Yeah,
They stopped the run all fucking year, bro. Manny, I told you about this shit, man. It pissed me off. Starting this game, that's what pissed me off, had me chafe, man. Feeling cramped up and shit in the cold weather. These motherfuckers was not stopping.
Like, it draws too little.
Bro, what's wrong with this team, man? Billings was out
there. Yeah.
You had your full complement of defensive ends, and you gave up $190 on the ground. And I understand Malik Willis had a component to that, but you played enough mobile quarterbacks to progressively get better. I'm talking about guys are out of position, and we missing tackles in the front, bro. That's sad, man. That's bad, bro. Now you're gonna see some real heavy, light run teams in the playoffs. Heavy run teams.
Yeah,
that's gonna keep Caleb ass on the sideline. So I don't care how electric he is.
Good point.
Over there.
They're gonna keep him
over there.
We can't have Shorty on the field.
Defense for the whole game.
Yep.
Come on, let's get a stop. Come on, let's get a stop. Come on, let's get a stop. All right, man, Caleb, you got to score here. You got to score here. When that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really look at that and figure it out before the last couple weeks of the season is up, Manny. And I'm really, really stressing that component because I don't like that being put on tape, man. You know, you can't like having 192 yards put on tape, and everybody's going to look at this game and say, okay, well, the Bears came back and it was great. You can't keep doing that. I'm going to keep saying that. We are doing it,
Right.
You can't keep doing it.
Doing it, right. This can't be our identity, bro. Not at all. Like this doesn't, and Ben Johnson is not going to allow it, and Dennis Allen's not going to allow it. I think going forward, I think that front line, if somehow Manny, and I want to ask you this, man, you know how fast Ben Johnson built that offensive line, bro, in 1 year, bro. Do you think that the Chicago Bears and Dennis Allen can build that defensive line in a year like that, either through free agency or draft? What's your thoughts?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
He's proven it, or for the, like you said, for our offensive line. Why not our defensive line? I'm hearing rumors. I'm just throwing it out there, but you know, Myles Garrett, you know, is somebody to, you know, somebody that might want to take a look at, because I don't think Cleveland is not really the best suit right now. It's like he's going to get the sack record, but you know, he probably gonna want to have a contender. And we saw him and Caleb, you know, kind of chatting, you know, after the game against the Browns last week. And you know,
it can happen. It can happen, man.
It can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you want a dominant, you know, generational quarterback, you got a generational coach. Why not go get that generational on the edge rusher, man?
Mm-hmm.
What you got to lose, man? Caleb is still under his rookie contract. You know, they're going to restructure some guys soon, you know what I mean? Because we're in our winning window. DJ, I need about 4-5. Tremaine, I need about 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Cole Kmet, I need some bread off of that. You know what I mean? So it could happen, man. It could really happen. If they really want to get aggressive and do it and really understand that there might be opening up that Super Bowl window, they can do it, man. You know what I mean? It's just going to be how aggressive can Ryan Poles be and Ben Johnson be, bro? Because the defensive side has to match the offensive side of the ball as far as the generals that are on offense. You got some generals over there, bro. You got some dogs over there. So it has to match. You just got to match. And if they can come out and say, we looking at Myles Garrett for 2 firsts and a couple players or whatever they want to do, by all means, go get the baby goat from over there in Cleveland.
Hey, imagine if we had him.
Yeah.
Let's kind of move, you know what I mean? Let's move forward to the next game against the 49ers. Now I think right now they're 10-4. I think they play today. I don't know who they play offhand, but talk to us about what are your keys for the Bears getting a road win in San Francisco next week.
Shad, you want to go?
It's okay, G. Go ahead.
I think the key to this game is don't get outcoached. Like don't play the same game that Shanahan is going to play. Be able to adjust. You know what's been your bread and butter with the run game, but let them know like my quarterback is here to win the game, bro, and we're going to try to get him established early. Somehow we got to stop the run, man. I don't know if we can do it. Like Shad been saying, it's 192, man. It's on film, and they come going against what's that young man over there? Damn.
Brock Purdy?
No, the running back.
Christian McCaffrey.
Right. So we got to play a full game on the ground with our front four, man, linebackers. So if there's any indication how it's going to look again, this might be the same type of game. It looks like the San Francisco 49ers are the West Coast Bears, because I don't know how Kyle Shanahan is doing this with the amount of injuries that this team has been suffering year in and year out, and they somehow continue to be a good football team. Is scary as hell, bro. They mirror us in a lot of ways. I think the key to the game is to stop the run game. The key to the game is to sack the quarterback. And another key to the game is to let Caleb throw the ball early, man, up and down the field, and throw some strikes, throw some smokers, man, throw some bombs early, and figure out that you can be a few steps ahead. If we can get ahead early, then you can game plan for the rest of the game.
Huh?
Brock Purdy been on a heater.
Really?
He been on a heater.
This game
concerns me primarily because they're going to test the Bears secondary in ways that we haven't been really tested from a passing game standpoint, where they throw the ball in volume. Defensively, Robert Saleh has a top 10 unit.
Yep. Walk to him, shot. Scary, bro.
I mean, McCaffrey in itself has been an MVP in this league, so it's respect there. The offensive line has been above average Um, it's going to be a legitimate test because they're just as good as Seattle, and even though Seattle's ahead of them currently in the standings due to a matchup a week or so ago, you look at the Rams, you look at the Niners, and you look at Seattle. It's almost an inverse of what you saw last year when you saw Green Bay, the Lions, and the Vikings. Now, all three of those teams from last year, how many of them made the NFC title game? So, a legitimate team, yes. A scary contender, not necessarily, because they don't do one thing elite.
That's the scary, and that's what's.
So for me, it's like they can beat you in any way possible if you don't bring your A game. So this will be one of those games where the Bears have to be a little bit more buttoned up with how they're doing it. Otherwise, you can take an L on the road. You can take an L on the road. And for me, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad loss other than the fact that you did it in conference, and that probably blows your shot at getting a bye. And you probably want to get a bye this year to avoid having to play that extra game just to get to the divisional round. So Bears have full control of their destiny going on the road. It's always a tough trip to San Francisco, and they got something to play for. But I definitely think it's going to be strength on strength, run game versus run game. Both are top 10. Strength versus strength in terms of takeaways. Both are top 10. They just put 37 on the Titans for whatever that's worth. You look at what we did against the Browns. It was a tune-up game for the Packers, so they'll be ready for us. Absolutely.
And they're playing the Colts. They're playing Phillip Rivers and the Colts. They're playing old man Phillip Rivers and the Colts today or tomorrow.
Isabella say, they Monday Night Football. She got some good comments, man.
Let's read the comments. See, Niners play the Colts. Defensive line. We appreciate all the comments. Isabella, Bella, Bears Fan Lounge. Thank you for all your comments, Jay. For real. Thank you, everyone. But yeah, I think that's the keys. I think for me, just real quick, the Bears kind of jump out. I would say jump early on the 49ers. You know what I mean? Let's not have a slow start, because I think if you have a slow start with them and you're on the road, it's going to be more difficult to try to do another comeback. You're not playing the Raiders or or the Jets or anything like that. So it's going to be much more difficult to do that. And man, I'm right now as Bears fans, we're enjoying the last two games of the year. We're enjoying this ride. It's going to be fun. We'll see when it comes playoff time who's going to match up with. We might come back with the Packers again here, and again we might come with the Lions. You never know. But any final thoughts you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
I got a comment, man. Looking at the statistics right now, man, standing wise, 11-4. Okay. Trying to figure out what this year is going to be at the end of it is not really where I want to look right now.
Right.
It's more now. Keeping in track of what the conference is doing is very important. Having the opportunity for the Bears playing yesterday is going to be cool for the Bears fans this week to look at what teams look like in this conference. So as we take a look at the matchups, we saw Philly and Washington play before us yesterday. So Philly, even though we beat them, they're a real team. They're Super Bowl champion. They are a real team. So we give credit to the fact that the Bears won. But the rest of this conference is no cakewalk. So I believe that position matters. So taking care of business is going to be pivotal. And winning at home, again, tipping the cap for the Bears, taking care of business at the crib, man. I think
you've been saying that for a minute. So you're prophetic on that one, my boy.
Hey, teams that win at home typically stand to have a better opportunity for success when the games end up being played towards the end of the year. So I'm riding with all of the home teams in the division for this particular weekend, and we'll see what the standings look like, man. But I'm geek, bro. I'm geek, man. The Bears on top of the division, bro. Now Ryan Poles might have some validity now. We're taking the North and never looking back, bro. It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility, man. And that's just to piggyback what you're saying, man. It's a good day and Sunday. You know, the Bears handled business yesterday, so we can just sit back and chill and watch the rest of the games. Final thoughts is just, me personally, how I see the game and how I appreciate everything that Ben Johnson has been doing, and Dennis Allen and Eric Bieniemy and Al Harris and JT Barrett and Al Roshar and all the dogs, bro. The Legion of Goons. I call them Legion of Goons on my page. I call that coaching staff the Legion of Goons, bro. But listen, dogs that's on that coaching staff that's played the game, that know the game, and we have to give a shout out to them too, man, because they are just as committed to this team as Ben Johnson has been. And it's awesome to see the position coaches are helping out, man. We got Jackson out here, the linebacker, man, has just been going crazy. Then he has like 50-something tackles in the last 2-3 games, according to Allen, our OG. And he had a sack and an interception. So, you got to give the coaches some credit, man. Guys are just ready to come in and play. Jade Walker's been ready to come in and play. He's been waiting for his opportunity. When he came, he scored. So I'm happy where we're at as far as that we can develop talent, we can acquire talent, and we can put it on the field and absolutely let that talent execute. So that is amazing in the first year. So that's just my final thoughts about the Bears versus the 49ers. Early in the year, I had us winning that game because I thought that the 49ers were falling off, and it doesn't look like they're falling off. So I'm going to pick the Bears. Bear Nation, please forgive me. We just came off a very emotional game, a very taxing game. A lot of energy went out, and I hope we are prepared. I hope we don't get blown out. But I got the Bears losing this game by 3 points. That's what I got.
Similar. And a Bears Nation, Bears fandom. I hope I'm wrong too. This was one of the few games I had on the losing column. But shoot, the way that they played, at least down the stretch against Green Bay, the way they played against the Browns, I think Ben Johnson's mentally going to have this team prepared for a fight. And this we're going to see. Initially, I had this, this game probably like a 27-20 game, 27-21. But Niners. But hey, the Bears been surprising me and probably all of us. I didn't even have the Bears winning this many games. I had them winning. I had them 10-7, just barely getting in. Now they're 11-4.
I had us 11-6.
Oh, see. So yeah, man, that's great. I want to, like I said, I'm giving the Bears their roses. You get the roses, Bears.
Yeah.
This is for you. This is for you. Hey, I appreciate you guys on the coming in on the pod again. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, you can find us here, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X,
TikTok, what up?
Yeah, you can go on guys podcast, CMG podcast, and then me, get Manny Fresh. You can follow me on that. TikTok as well, Manny from E.T.S Productions 84 on TikTok. But yes, man, appreciate that. And let's bear down. Happy week, and see you guys soon.
Bear down.
Peace.